G'day legends, Atron here and welcome to another Guild Wars session focusing on Aries for the first 5 and then I'm going to be using Mike for the second 5 Guild Wars for the last week's session. So 2 Guild Wars and 1 today, focusing on this team to start with Aries. As you can see, that's the team, that's the support group. Dove is pretty much the sniper here, and then most of those heroes are used to simply keep her alive and then reduce the enemy damage or blind the heroes or silence the heroes. So this is the one that I'm finding is fairly set and forget drop tactic. Just find the lead with Dove and follow with all your supporting heroes. Now, in theory, Aries works very well for keeping everyone silenced. Normally, I do like to go against the Dove first in this instance, or as close to the Dove as possible. And you can see that the Aries is working well. He does die very quickly. He is in 5 Vite. I did have on the 5th run here, he has a second talent of 5 Flame Guard, which I did take to 7 just to sort of see how it goes in the wash up. And it works okay. This whole Aries thing, it definitely does restrict some people from proccing, so you might want to target the Waller first though. The reason this is all in double speed is because it's pretty much the same sort of stuff, but you more want to look at how the heroes are dying as to what talents they have. Aries is in 5 Vite with, I think I didn't even put revive on him. I think I only just left it at Psy Shield so I don't have to move around too many crests. And yes, it was working for that first initial silence. If you're not having, an 8 of 8 Empower Waller on there, or an Empower Waller at all, you're generally going to be okay, because the Waller won't just proc and override that Aries. Well, it won't proc as much, that's for sure. So it's still a very good technique to pull out the Doves. You just have to be careful with the Aries of dying. So that's pretty much it. He will get chunked. He's probably the lowest HP out of everyone there. He doesn't have any inbuilt HP or any inbuilt damage reduction, as he's just running 5 Vite. So he's the one going to be targeted. If everyone's on full HP, generally will be targeted first by Dove. And as soon as any AoE damage hits them with Skell, he's probably going to be the next hero targeted also. So, a little bit flimsy with Aries as far as his survivability. Last run is 7 of 8 Flame Guard. I don't think it's the best sample. Perhaps next week I may just take him to 8 or leave him at 7 and see how the 5 go. He is 12 skill and Mike will also be 12 skill. I don't think the extra... this is interesting. So what happened here was we had the Rockno on this base was full dodge and my Dovekeeper kept getting stunned. So everyone else got stunned and died. And the Rockno was the only one left. So what I did, I let this run go through, saw what happened. Everyone's kind of staying alive for the most part. The Aries is not really helpful in this. Like, it's getting them down, and if you get a lucky proc on the Anubis, he's gonna go down. But essentially, everyone does die. But then the Rockno just drains everyone's energy. Nothing's able to keep up, and he is a dodgy Rockno with no AoE left from my Golem. Those towers are staying intact with full stun on Dovekeeper, essentially just locking her in place. So what I did is I simply just changed her to Blitz, same drop, same method, happy days. So little changes in between can tweak your setup to a more desirable outcome, essentially. I did like messing around with Aries. I just think the Mike worked better, and definitely the Demo worked better. So, but I mean, if you are looking at this free-to-play sort of style, Demo is not an option, which is fair enough. And keeping them alive, like my Golem is 10 or 11, but it's not really about the heals for Golem. The heals do help, don't get me wrong, but it's more about that constant damage reduction that cannot be removed from Dovekeeper. So when the enemy Doves hits you, you're still taking less damage, whereas you have for example, a Mike shield that's up. Dovekeeper hits Mike's shield, it's going to remove that shield, and then it's going to damage you. That's just how it works. So same drop, same from the top, but this time with no stunning on the Dove Keeper. She was able to pretty much take out all those heroes. So what I didn't realize is how effective they were at range, and then obviously when she walked into the base, it was almost pointless her being there because she was stun locked. So yeah, Aries dies every time. So he's going to need for this to be, if you're a little bit lower in like hero quality than the ones I'm running, which I dare say, as free to play, there's probably a few people there. Yeah, Aries is going to have to be fairly tanky. So 8 Stone Skin or 8 Flame Guard would be my recommendation to keeping him alive in this Guild Wars fashion. He does not need to be, he doesn't need to be 5 Vite for this to work. It goes pretty much the same way. He's going to proc eventually, so long as he doesn't die. That's the main point. So that's the Aries runs, guys. More just wanted to showcase, the reason it's in double speed is I just want to showcase how the heroes are dying, like their health bar at the bottom when you run through. The drop is fairly straightforward. Find an opening, go to that opening, drop all your heroes with Dove first, support group, happy days, So that's the first time I cracked 4K. Fun days. And then just running through the heroes, I think, again. So what do we got to? We'll get there eventually. So Dove, yeah, so that's what I was running. I wasn't even running a revive. Probably if I was running revive, would have probably still got X'd, I reckon. Still would have had an X through him, but he probably would have got an extra life and potentially a little bit more survivability. I think I did leave Waller on Flame Guard. Definitely should have flicked him back to Stone Skin for those matches, just for the Guild Wars. But I'm going into Mike now. So this is the team I was using for the Mike setup. So same team for the most part, except we're just subbing in Waller. And what I did do today is, oh no, did I change it to Vite? No, I think I left it. I think I left it on power just to test it out to see if, because that's what I run with him on the base, so I don't really want to change the crests. So going in, 8 of 8 Stone Skin Mike, 12 skill, really just looking at the health bar and how quickly the enemy heroes die when you have the Mike in your setup. And honestly, it worked a lot better than Aries, but I mean, the Aries is weak in comparison. And if you only look at the 5 heroes, you're probably going to chunk them down as long as you can stay alive anyway. So Mike was much more efficient, I found, in doing a couple of high targets today, almost 400 Ks. But there was nothing different about this drop. Nothing about just the heroes he was using. All I wanted to showcase is look at the health bars as you go through these last 5 runs. They're all... also, Waller didn't die at all. Oh, look at that. But we're back. Serena revives Waller, and we get through eventually. So, but with the Flame Guard one, I found Waller was dying a lot more. Definitely a lot more. I think what I wanted to do there, I was targeting Serena up the top, and then Waller was just to the right. So I got out, redid it, and said, I'm probably going to want to target that Waller first for all the cleansing things. Happy days, rolled on through. So sometimes it is more beneficial to take out the Waller first, as he is probably the greatest support utility on defense. This base is nothing. That's, someone's just given up, but same thing applies. Everyone goes in. In this instance, though, I'm not going against the Dove first. We go against the Skelly just because that was the corner I chose. But once you get rolling, you can see that the Dove Keeper does start spawning her doves, and it still allows you to stack even if you're not against, like, going against the side where the Dove Keeper is. And then everyone gets punched down and happy days. So I just found the team a lot more tanky when Mike was there. I'm not sure if it was because he was going to be in the front line and taking some brute, or his Angel was in the front line taking a lot of the brute. But I just found the team as a whole, less gems to revive, a quicker guild war, It just felt a little bit more solid. I don't really count that base as something to... I think there's a lot of techniques or a lot of heroes that would be able to just run over that. So 6 heroes in the middle, but going from the side so long as your Dovekeeper doesn't get stunned and everyone else doesn't get stunned. Happy days. So we find the Dovekeeper at the bottom, we put her in, distract the copters somewhat, and then because Gunslinger's on the other side of the map, we can drop everyone and then still distract those copters for the most part up the top, and that's where we put them all. And that's pretty much it. So Mike goes in again. As you can see, those health bars aren't moving. Everyone gets deleted, and happy days. So a lot of what we will be trying is that 6th hero. I believe the first 5, excluding Mike in this setup and excluding Aries, are, you know, the 5 best heroes to support Dove with. In this instance, you know, you've got 3 healers, you've got Anubis for damage reduction, and you've also got, you know, reducing the enemy heroes, and then you've got Ghoulam for reducing the damage taken from your heroes. So it's all about heals and damage reduction and enemy damage reduction to keeping them alive, and then your Dovekeeper is just pure, you know, brute force taking over and sniping. That's the mentality, that's the theory behind it. So with that 6th hero, Mike is there for a tank and also for buffing, attack speed, all the good stuff there. Bit of reflect on board, so just going through the heroes again, another 4K session here. But someone asked me, I think on chat, would you use Nick or would you use Little Nick as that 6th hero? Would you use someone else? We will just test it out for fun, why not? Like Warlock, for example, I just think he's going to need some HP. Or Pixie, for example, someone said, you know, could you use other utility heroes? And we can try it out, but I think those first 5 are the main part, the best sort of setup for that head-to-head brute force sniping technique. But thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next vid. Got a couple coming out and another Guild Wars session next week. Happy days.